I will now be reading chapter 4 of the book of Genesis from the King James Version of the Bible. Chapter 4. And Adam knew his wife Eve, and she conceived, and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in the process of time it came to pass, that Cain brought the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel he also brought his firstlings of the flock, and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offerings. But unto Cain and to his offerings he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him. And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass, that every one that findeth me shall slay me. And the Lord said unto him, Therefore whoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken upon him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord, and dwelt in the land of Nod, on the east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch. And he builded a city, and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. And unto Enoch was born Irad, and Irad begat Mehujael, and Mehujael begat Methusael, and Methusael begat Lamech. And Lamech took unto him 2 wives, the name of one was Adah, and the name of the other was Zillah. And Adah bare Jabal. He was the father of such as dwell in tents, and such as have cattle. And his brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of such as handle the harp and organ. And Zillah she also bore Tubal-Cain, an instructor of every artificer in brass and iron. And his sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. And Lamech said unto his wives Adah and Zillah, Hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech, hearken unto my speech. For I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. For God, said she, hath appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. And to Seth to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord. Now that I have read chapter 4 of the book of Genesis, let's get into my thoughts on it. The last chapter had a lot more to discuss. This one, not so much. Chapter 4 told the story of Cain and Abel, and how Cain murdered his brother Abel for a rather petty reason. Effectively what happened was Cain and Abel both brought offerings to the Lord God, and while Abel's were worthy of an offering, Cain's were not. God then talks to Cain and asks him why his countenance has fallen, which just means his facial expression. God is just asking why he's frowning. God then explains to Cain that all he has to do is try a little harder with his offerings, and that if he keeps going the way he's going now, it will lead to sin, and sin will rule him. Cain does not listen, and lets anger take over, and kills his brother Abel. God then punishes him by making it impossible to farm anything in the field, and now he is a fugitive and a vagabond. Cain then tells God that since he would be a fugitive and a fugitive being a criminal, and a vagabond being a person who wanders from place to place without a home, that whoever would come across him would surely kill him. So God shows mercy and places a mark upon Cain that makes it so that anyone who kills him would surely die also. Then Cain has himself a wife, and it goes through all the generations for a while up until we get to Lamech, who had 2 wives, Adah and Zillah, and they both had children. Then one day Lamech comes home and tells his wives that he killed 2 men who wronged him, saying that if Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold, which is basically just him boasting about the deed. Now the cycle of death has continued through Cain's bloodline. And then at the end of the chapter, Adam and Eve have their 3rd son Seth, to replace Abel after he was murdered. Seth then has a son himself, and that son is named Enos. There wasn't much to talk about in this chapter. It was more or less just an interesting account of the life of Adam and Eve's first 2 sons, and their surviving son's lineage. I hope you had fun, and see you tomorrow.